Today I'm going to show you how to make protein oats. Now there are a lot of recipes for oatmeal on the internet, and I even have a ton of them on this channel, an entire playlist of oat-based recipes, and I'm pretty sure that many of you are looking for a recipe that uses protein powder to add protein to your oats, how to make them really good, creamy, not like a brick. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is place the oats in a small pot. I'm not making these in the microwave because oats in the microwave tend to like bubble over and it's just quite a mess. So I just want to show you the process today. I'm also using quick cooking oats, but this works with whatever oatmeal or oats you have at home. I'm going to make 2 servings. So I'm going to add my oats into my pot. And I'm going to turn on the heat. Now for this, I am going to use water. I'm strictly following the directions in the package. If you're using steel cut, the ratios are going to be different, but I'm going to use oats in water as the base, because then we're going to add our protein powder, and that could be whey or plant-based, whatever your favorite protein powder that you have at home, that's what I want you to use. So oats and water. So the cool thing about quick oats is that they cook quickly in about 3 minutes or so. So if you've ever tried to make protein oats by using protein powder after the fact, a lot of complaints is that like the oats get really thick and almost like a thick paste and unedible. So I'm gonna help you troubleshoot all of that. But one really important rule is that the protein powder itself, it's going to come through the flavor in your bowl of oats. So if you're typically using a protein powder that you mask with like bananas and berries and all these things in smoothies, it's not gonna taste that well. So like what you really wanna do is pick a flavor of protein powder. I have vanilla in its whey that I'm using today, but I also have a vanilla plant-based that I really like because the oats are plain, and whatever the flavor of your protein powder, or the chocolate ones work really well, it's gonna come through. So I just want you to be aware of that as well. So what we want to do is wait until our oats are fully cooked and turn into oatmeal before we add the protein. I'm also gonna keep some water handy right here to give my oatmeal the consistency that I like after I add the protein powder. A lot of protein oat recipes have you cook your oatmeal and then add yogurt to the bowl of oatmeal and mix it. And while that's a really great idea, and I do that all the time, 1 serving of yogurt is not gonna have as much protein usually as a scoop of your protein powder. So if you're trying to add more protein into your diet without having 2 cups of yogurt, that using a powder form is really a great idea. Now I have a lot of overnight oat recipes on this channel, and sometimes people ask me if they can add a scoop of protein powder into an overnight oat recipe. And the short answer is that you can. However, protein powder is going to absorb a lot of that liquid that the oats need. So I don't recommend adding a whole scoop to a jar of overnight oats. So as you can see, our oats have really just turned into oatmeal. So it's got like a really thick porridge texture that you would typically serve in a bowl. So what you want to do is turn off your heat. And this is where you bring in your protein powder and scoop it in. So I made 2 servings of oats in my pot. So 1 scoop is 1 serving of protein powder. So you could either just do 1 or 2, but we each want to have a full 20 grams of protein. So there we go. So what you do now is with your spoon, you're gonna stir, and as you can check it out. So it's absorbing into our oats, and depending on the brand or type of protein powder that you're using, it's going to thicken up a lot or a little, because again, not all brands are the same. I would eat oats this thick, not a problem. I know this is kind of thick for a lot of people. So one reason I told you to have a little bit of water handy is because if you're using a plant-based protein, it often becomes really thick and pasty. So you would then just add a little bit of water after your oats are cooked and the protein's in there, and stir it to give your oatmeal the consistency that you like. Now let's dish some of these oats up so you can see up close what these are like. Now, sometimes maybe you just wanna make one big pot for a couple servings and refrigerate the rest for later. You can definitely make a big batch of these, a couple of servings at a time, and save that for later. I personally like to top my oats with some berries. It smells like strawberries and cream cake. Now, I would love to know what kind of protein powder do you use in your smoothies and do you buy? I do have a blog post on my favorite protein powders. I'll make sure to link that below. But of course, go ahead and share that with me. I'm always curious to see if I can try a new one. See, let's check this out. Tastes like cake. It's really yummy. You should try it. Grab the recipe, the directions, protein powders, all that good stuff right below this video. And if you just love helpful videos like this one, hit that red subscribe button. You and I get to cook together every single week. See you next time.